Well, hello there. Welcome back to Grandma Ray Don't Play, and I'm Rachel. So I want to talk to you today. Is that okay? All right. So I want to talk about when you're single, such as I am, the disadvantages and the cost of living that affects a single person versus a couple or someone that can share expenses with others. Okay? Alright, so I have some notes here. So I'm going to go down my list. Is that okay? Okay. So let me sit up here. There we go. Alright, so let's get started. Rent. It costs just as much to for a single person to live and pay rent as it does a couple. So what you need to do is try to consider paying less rent to offset that, because if you had a mate, your mate would be sharing the cost of the rent. But since you don't, consider moving someplace where you can pay less rent. You may have to move to another town, or you may have to move to a small apartment, or maybe you can consider being a roommate with someone. Okay, all of those things I would consider, because rent consumes really almost half of your salary. And if you can get rent under control until you can get some help, until you can get a mate, then it would make sense, so that you can try to save some money, right? Because a single person, the finances of living is twice as expensive as a couple or people who have a partner. Alright? So that's one suggestion that I would have for you. Consider how you can cut down rent. Okay, your heating bill. That's the same problem. No one to help share the cost of that. So I would, if I were you, consider renting someplace, if you can, that heat is included. That way you can control your costs, because you don't know if a heating bill is going to be $100, $200, $500 for the month. You just don't know, because that all depends on how cold it is. Other factors is the cost of fuel that the company needs to produce the heat, etc., etc. Okay? Light bill. What I did is I used, the power strips. I used power strips, and then that way you can plug everything you own in the entire house into power strips. So yes, this is going to be an initial cost for you, but it's going to save you in the long run. And I plug in things that I use all the time is in one strip, and then other things that I don't use is in another strip. That way I can keep the power strip cut off on the things that I don't use, and the things that I use is also on a power strip. So when I finish using it, I cut the power strip off, because you don't have to have your whole house plugged in, because what happens when it's just directly plugged in, even though you don't think so, the meter is moving, because there's some mechanisms in toasters and let's see, lamps and a lot of things, battery chargers, plugs for your phone. All of those things add up, and it keeps the needle moving on the meter so that you pay more. So that's one thing that I would do if I was you. I'd put everything on power strips, separate out what you use on a regular basis, what you don't use, so you may have to do 2 or 3 power strips on that, and I would only turn on any power strip when I need it. When I finish, I would cut it off. Okay? Alright. Cable bill. You can go and check out my video on how to cut the cord. a cable bill can be really, really expensive. It's right up there with a car note. Okay? So what I did is, I don't have cable, but what I do have is, I have a Roku in each room. That costs $35 each Roku. And you know, Roku has over 4,000 channels, and out of the 4,000, 2,000 of those channels are absolutely free. So there you go. Plus it makes your TV a smart TV if you don't have a smart TV. And then I choose to watch what I want to watch. So for instance, Hulu. Hulu is $5.99 a month. And that gives you quite a lot actually, of the TV shows that you would see on regular TV. The only difference is you have to see it one day later. So if your show comes on Tuesday, you can see it on Wednesday. Okay? So that's something that for you to consider, you know, because let's say, okay, you want movies, try Netflix. Netflix, I think, is up to about $15 a month. $15 a month, $5.99 a month is a huge difference over $100 or $200 cable bill a month, right? And if you have Amazon Prime already, well, with that you can watch the Amazon Prime movies for free. They offer that. Also, if you have certain companies like Metro PC, if you get a package for your phone, I think it's up to $60. If you pay $60, you can watch Amazon Prime TV for free also. So all of those things I would look into if I were you, because I know for a fact that you can save around at least $100 or more on that cable cost. Some people pay $200 and something. It's crazy. Really, you can't watch all of that at the same time. So consider that. And if you don't want to just get rid of cable altogether, okay, so now they have it where you can go in and tell them what you like and don't like to watch, and then they have a package specifically for that. And I'm sure that will cut your costs down because you're not getting the whole package, okay? Take a look at cable, because if you're single, that's hurting you right there. You could be saving that money to go on a trip, or just save it for when you get older and you may need that. You just never know. A rainy day is coming, right? Okay. Food costs. When you're single, you cannot go into the grocery store and buy for just you. They don't package it like that. You know, if you get a package of meat, it's never for just one person. It's always 2 or 3 or 4 pieces of meat in there, sometimes more. You know, so what you got to do is you've got to say, okay, what is my limit on a package of meat? My limit is $5. And if I pay over $5, I got to figure out how many meals can I get out of that package so that I can break it down to, because out of the $5 package, at least half of that will be one meal. So that's $2.50, right? And then there are some meals that, let's say the package of hamburger was $5 and you cut it in half and you make spaghetti. You can eat that for maybe 2 or 3 meals, right? And cut your costs that way. So it's really hard to shop for food as a single person, okay? No help again. Okay. So when you don't have a partner you can't bounce things off of on a regular basis, you know, loneliness kicks in, depression kicks in, all of those factors kick in, right? So I know some people have been through some stuff in past relationships, and it caused them to be afraid to take a chance, okay? I'm one of those people. But you know what? Eventually, you should try to see if you can take a chance, because there's somebody out there for you. Everybody is not gonna abuse you, or everybody is not gonna mistreat you. You gotta at least try, because you know my statement, God put Adam in the garden, and he looked at Adam and seen that Adam was lonely, and so he brought Adam Eve. So that's the idea. He thinks that we should have a mate, okay? I don't care if your mate is a man or a woman. That's your choice, okay? Okay. So if you have a car note, okay, that's another thing. You know, if you have two people, maybe you're sharing a car. Or if you're not sharing a car, you can share the expenses. Another thing with that is the car insurance. If you had car insurance and it was two people in the household, like a couple, you can get a discount rate on your car insurance, okay? You can't do that as a single person because you don't have another mate with another car, okay? All right. And then hotel costs, restaurant costs. You know, if you're going to go travel somewhere and you're single, you know, it would be nice if you could go with someone to split that cost, okay? If not, the cost is all on you. So you see all the disadvantages of being single or being alone, right? Medical coverage is another thing. If you had a spouse, you could maybe be on their insurance, and then therefore you don't have to pay the medical insurance. And you all split that cost. So it's just so many advantages of being with a mate, okay? And the last thing I want to talk about is when you're single and you have children and you're raising children and you do not receive any help, any financial help with the child support, that's all on you. You are now providing for everybody in your house, all the children, the dog, the cat, everybody in your house. So I tell women that, you know, don't, and I'm not bashing guys, okay? So let me know that. What I'm saying is, I think that women who say, oh, well, he don't want to support his kids, or a man may say, oh, she doesn't want to support her kids, that's all right, she don't have to. Wrong answer. You need to make that happen. You need to go to court and get that child support order enforced and make them take care of their kids. I'll tell you why. When a man or a woman pay child support, they really think about their kids. They really have interest in their kids, because now their money is a reminder that they got kids over there, and then they feel like they're investing in them, and so they're going to spend some time with them. In addition to that, this is just like you having a mate in your house, right? Because this is additional income that can help you pay the rent, the gas bill, the light bill, the clothing, etc., etc. Okay? Okay, so on that note, you say, well, how can I make him? Please, stop. Just go right on over to the court system and take out a child support order. And if you have to go every 2 months because the person doesn't pay, you follow up on that until you get that result, okay? And if they're not working, that's okay. You put the order in anyway, because you never know what's going to happen in life. They could hit the lottery, or they could go to work, or they could get their income tax. You just don't know, okay? And that's what I would do. And if the person is married and they don't have any income, under the law, a certain portion of the income in that household is also that person's. So you may can get the child support from the spouse if they're married. Why not? Okay? So all of these things I'm going to suggest for you to do to help you, because stress is really, really something when all of the burden, all of the needs is strictly on you. And you want to relieve some of that stress until help comes. And by all means, don't give up on life, okay? Take a chance. Love is out there for you, and love is out there for me. I'm still looking. I haven't had any dates or anything yet, but I'm still hopeful, and I'm going to be hopeful, because you know what? Life is short, and we all need to help one another, share one another, love one another, right? Okay, how about that? So that's the update on Grandma Ray life, and the update for you. And I hope you consider some of these points that I have pointed out. And you know, nowadays people don't get married that often. It's a good idea to get married if you're in love and you're living with somebody anyway, and you think you're gonna be there, you know, and if it's right for you. I think it's a good idea, because there are a lot of benefits to getting married. Getting married is like a commitment. It's a help system. It's a support system. It's somebody that is going to be there all the time. That's really good. It's good for the health. It's good for the mind, the soul, the body. It's really good. Okay? All right then. So that's my talk for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you consider some of those real good points, like cut down the rent. Oh, and if you have a house, okay, the market is dropping, so you might want to consider whether it's time for you to sell your house, if you're gonna make any changes, or if you're gonna downsize or anything like that. You should do that now before the market crash, okay? Because the election is coming up, and that always changes things, you know, and you don't want to wait until it's too late, because if the market drops really low, lower than what you have in the house, then you're kind of stuck with the house until the market gets back up, and sometimes that's years. Okay? All right, consider those facts. I love you, and please hit the like button if you like what I'm telling you, okay? And subscribe if this is your first time on my channel. And I'll talk to you soon, okay? Love you. Bye-bye. Also, I want to tell everybody happy 4th of July. I hope you spend time with the family and eat a lot, okay? Eat whatever you want. You can go back and on your diet tomorrow, okay? Do something fun. All right. Happy 4th of July. Bye-bye.